Alright, so we are going to practice some letters today. We're going to focus on A, B, and C, but we're going to go through all of these. So our first letter is the letter A, and our A says ah, ah. Try that one with me. It says ah, ah. Our next one is B, and our B says b, b. It's real quick and short. We're not going to say buh and stretch it out really long like that. We're going to say b. Alright, next up is C, and our C says k, k, k. Next up is our D, and our D says d, d, d. It's the same as our B, but we're gonna say D. And it says d, d. It's real quick and short, like dog, don't, do. There we go. Next up, let's swipe the page. Next up is our letter E, and our E says eh. F. Next is our letter F, and our F says try that one with me. It's like you're blowing air through your front teeth here. So we have F, and we have next up our G. G, G. Try that one with me. G, G, like go. G, G. H is our sound. Try that one with me, like you're blowing air out. Try that one with me. Can you feel the air when you make that sound? Like in hi, hello. We have our G, and we have our nice job. Wiggle to our next one. Our next one makes that I sound because it's our letter I. Our letter I says I. What does our letter I say? Oh, our letter I says I. You're already wonderful at this. Next up is our letter J, and our letter J makes that J sound, like in jump or jelly or jump rope. J, J, J. Try that one with me. J, J, J. Good job. We have our I, and our J, J. All right, let's wiggle to the next one. Next one is our K, and our K says k, k. Kind of like our C, it makes that same k sound, but this is our letter K. So K says k, k. Next is our letter L. L says oh. Go ahead and see. Look how my mouth sounds when I'm saying that. Oh, like in lion. Lion, or love, love. It makes that oh sound. So we have k, k, and we have oh, oh. Nice job. Next is our letter M. Our M says like if something is just so yummy, you're gonna say that was some good food. That was a good tasty juice. Your lips are touching. Nice job. Next is our letter N, and our letter N, it makes a similar sound, but our lips are not gonna touch that way. That N says Do you see how my mouth is open? With our N, our lips touch, and they say With our N, they do not touch. They just say and your tongue go on the top of your mouth like that. Nice job. Sometimes our letters have us talking funny. Next is our letter O, and our O says ah, ah. Try that one with me. Ah, ah. Next up is P, and the P says p, p, p. That one's really quick and short too. We're not gonna say puh. We're not gonna say puh and extend it real long. We want it really quick and short, like popcorn. Think of popcorn popping. Does popcorn pop like this? Here I am. No, it goes like this. It's quick and it's fast. So think popcorn. Pop. Pop. Popcorn. Fast, fast, fast. All right, let's move on. So we have our O says ah, and our P says p, 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 p. Nice job. Next, our Q makes that qu, qu sound like in quarter. queen. Question. That is our Q. Next up over here is our R, and our R makes that sound, like run makes that sound. That one's a little bit tricky, but when we say different words, we're gonna be able to hear it. Like rise up, run makes that sound. So our Q and our R. Next up is our S, and our S makes that sound. Try it with me. Your lips aren't touching, you're making that sound, like see you later. Try it with me. See you later, silly snake. S makes that sound. Next up is our T, and our T makes that t. Try that one with me. T. Our T says t. So we have our S, and we have our t. Our S says, the S says, every letter makes a sound. The S says, s. The T says, t. The T says, t. Every letter makes a sound. The T says, t. And we're gonna move on from these letters. Next is the letter U, and our letter U makes that sound. Try that one with me. Like umbrella or up. Let's go upstairs. U makes that sound. We're not saying ah. We're not saying ah. We're saying Nice job. Next is our letter V, and our V says that one's kind of tricky. It almost sounds like a race car. You're saying like I am very excited to see you here today. Or volcano. Try that one with me. So your lips are making this. Sometimes it feels a little bit silly, but that's how we make that sound, like very volcano. Nice job. So we have our U, and our V. Our race car sound. Next up is our W. Our W says like why, where, watch. Whale makes that w sound. Next up is our letter X, and our X makes that x sound. X. Almost sounds like a Spider-Man web. It's making that x sound, like in fox or box. Listen to the ending of those sounds. Fox, box makes that x sound. So we have our W, and our x. Nice job. We're almost to the end. Next is our letter Y, and our Y makes that y sound, like in yes. Y. Or yellow makes that y sound. Y. Try it with me. Y. Like in yes. Yellow. Yak. Y makes that Y sound. Next up, and last but not least, is our letter Z. Our letter Z makes that z sound, kind of like our sound. Almost sounds like a race car. Z says z, like in zebra or zoo. Say that word with me. Zoo. Say zebra with me. Zebra. Do you see how your mouth feels when you say that? That is our letter Z. All right, next up, we are going to practice writing our letters. So I'm going to flip myself around here. Okay, remember we're going to go down, across, down, across. And we do our across last, because this is like our little bridge. We go down, across, down, across. And then for our A, we're gonna take it around town, pause, then go down. We're just gonna give him a little monkey tail. We're not gonna make it go all the way up here and then go over here and then go over here too. No. We're just gonna give him a little tail. just ever so slightly. So we're gonna go around, stop. And are we gonna go all the way up here and over here and over here? And over here into your house? No, we're just gonna give a little monkey tail, just like that. This is our letter A. A. Nice job. We're gonna erase our whiteboards. Erase your whiteboards if you have one. All right, so our letter B. Our letter B. B says B. Nice job. Our letter B for our capital. Capital, that means that's our bigger one. Let's flip it this way. Perfect, perfect. Then we can see it a little bit better. For our B, we're gonna go down. And we're gonna curve around like we're making our 3, but we're gonna meet in the middle. Curve around away from our face. Meet in the middle. Curve around away from our face, and we're gonna meet in the middle. Nice job. That is our B. So we're gonna curve around away from our face, away from our face. Meet in the middle. Curve around away from our face, and meet back at the end, and that is our capital B. For our lowercase b, we're gonna make a line down. We're gonna start in the middle. Are we gonna start up top for our lowercase b? No, are we starting at the bottom? No, I said the middle. So we're gonna start at the middle, curve around, and that is our B, lowercase b. We have our capital B and our lowercase b. Then we're gonna make a line down like this, and we're gonna curve it around. Curve it around. B. B says b, b, b. So our B, we're gonna make our lowercase and our uppercase. So this is our lowercase B. Nice job. You're doing so wonderful. Last up is our letter C. And our letter C, what we're gonna do is we're gonna curve around and stop. We're not gonna go all the way around like this because that is a different letter and we don't wanna practice that letter today. We wanna practice our C. So we're gonna curve around and stop. That is our letter C. For our lowercase, we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna start in the middle and we're gonna make it a mini version. I like mini, so we're gonna go around, stop. And that's our C. We don't need to make it so small that it's like this and then you can't even see it, because can you see that? I can't see that. And we don't need to make it so big like this that it takes up all of our whiteboard. We don't want that either. So what we're gonna do, let's do our capital C. Capital C. And then our lowercase c. We have our capital C and we have our lowercase c. See over here we have capital, then we have our lowercase. That means it's just a little bit smaller. Just a little bit smaller. All right, here we go. We are gonna practice some listening skills. It means you're gonna tell me if you hear that ah sound, if you hear the b sound, or if you hear that k sound. So are you ready? So you're gonna tell me if you hear that ah sound, you're gonna tell me if you hear the b sound, or you're gonna tell me if you hear the k sound in these words. Are you ready? Our first word is bag. Bag. What do we hear in bag? What letter do we hear at the beginning? That means that first sound, the first sound that you hear. Do we hear a, b, or k first? Bag. Bag. B, ag. What do we hear first? Give you 5 seconds. I hear the letter B. We hear the letter B. We hear that b, b in bag. B, b, bag. Nice work. Next up is our letter A, B, or C. But what sound do we hear in the word astronaut? Astronaut. Do we hear the k sound first? Do we hear the b sound first, or do we hear the ah sound first in astronaut? Astronaut. I want that first sound. When you first hear that word, what do we hear? Astronaut. Go ahead and write your answer for me. What do we think in the word astronaut? What sound do we hear first? Is it a, b, or k? I'll give you 3 seconds if you don't have your answer yet. That's a-okay. That's why we're practicing. That's why we're here. I'm going to flip it in 3, 2, 1. We hear the letter A, and our board is disappearing. There we go. We hear the letter A. We hear the letter A for astronaut. Astronaut makes the letter A sound, and our letter A sound says ah. Ah, like an astronaut. Nice job. We're thinking, who said it? Next up is, what is this? Oh, that is a cat. That is a cat. Go ahead and tell me. What sound do you hear at the beginning of cat? I'll write my answer. Do you have yours? Beginning of cat. Give you about 5 more seconds. Cat. Cat. Do we hear the ah sound at the beginning of cat? No. Do we hear the b sound at the beginning of cat? No. Do we hear the k sound at the beginning of cat? We do. It is our letter C. We hear that k, a, t, cat. Cat. It makes that letter C sound. And our C says k. The C says k. Every letter makes a sound. The C says k. Next up is our cake. Cake. What do we think? Do we think that's our a, our b, or our k sound in cake? Cake. What sound do you hear first? Cake. What sound do you hear first in cake? Cake. What sound do we hear first? We have a, b, or k in cake. Cake. What sound do we hear first? I'll give you 3 seconds. 3. I'll give you 2. I'll give you 1. And it's gonna be the letter C. Our letter C makes that k, and we know that cake says k, k, k. Nice job. Nice work. Our C and says k in cake. Perfect. Let's go to our next one. Next one is books. Books. See how your mouth feels when you say that one. Books. Does it feel like our ah sound? Does it feel like our b sound? Or does it feel like our k sound? What do we think? In books. Books. What do you think? I've got my answer. Do you have your answer for the word books? Books. Do we think it's our letter C? Do we hear the letter C at the beginning of books? No, because our C says k, and that would say cook. Are these cooks? No. What about the letter A? Does our letter A, do we hear that at the beginning of books? No, because our letter A makes what sound? It makes that ah sound. How about our letter B? What about our letter B? Does our letter B, do we hear that b sound in the beginning of books? We do hear that sound in the beginning of books. Books makes that b sound. Nice job. You are doing so wonderful. You're doing so amazing. I'm so proud of you. Next is the word B. B. What do we think? B. I'll give you 5 seconds on this one, because we kind of have a clue. We've got a clue. got a clue. Do we hear the sound at the beginning of B? Do we hear the sound? B. No. Do we hear the k sound at the beginning of B? Do we hear the k sound? No. Do we hear our B sound? We do. It is our letter B. Our B says B, B. Our B says B, B. Like in the letter B and in the actual B. We have a little bit of a hint. Our B says B. Next up is, what could this be? Oh, that's right. It's an apple. Apple. Let's go and write our answer. Capital or lowercase, you get to choose. But what sound do we hear at the beginning of apple? I'll give you 5 seconds. I'll stop singing so you can focus. All right, are you ready to flip? We need to know what letter makes that A sound, and it's our letter A. It's our letter A. Our letter A makes that A sound. It says A. Is it our letter B? No, because we know that our B says B, B. And this is the apple. No, is it the letter C? K, K. Do we hear the K sound at the beginning of apple? No, we don't even hear the K sound at all. Our A though says A. So when we say apple slowly, apple. Apple. We know that that A sound is our A. You are doing so amazing at this letter thing, but that's all that we have for today, so I will see you later. Thanks for learning. Thanks for watching. Thanks for practicing your skills with me to help you get ready for school. Have a wonderful day. Bye.